as Americans' opinions on Ukraine have changed dramatically.
What about opinions of the Ukrainian president?
Right. You know, obviously, if you would expect changes amongst the public on feelings towards Ukraine, feelings towards Zelensky have changed also dramatically. Look at this. Confident Zelensky will do the right thing when it comes to world affairs. Back in 2022, it was the clear majority, 72% through the floor. Through the floor by 2024, just 48% of Americans say that they're confident that Zelensky will do the right thing when it comes to world affairs. And GOP confidence has also plummeted dramatically. Now the clear majority of Republicans are not confident that Zelensky will do the right thing when it comes to world affairs.
It looks like Zelensky wants us to accept this apology. He just posted this video begging for mercy. Should Trump accept that and give him mercy after what he did in the Oval Office? The epic meltdown literally woke up many Americans to see right through this war in Ukraine with Russia. And now here's the video. And by the way, I have a video to show you guys about the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, exposing this guy for who he really is. But again, here he is begging us for mercy. Should we forgive this guy? Take a listen to how he switches his tune and is now saying this. Take a look.
I'm
grateful to President Trump for his sincere interest in our common opportunities, in how we can bring real peace together. It was a long conversation. We discussed many nuances, diplomatic, military, economic, and President Trump informed me of what Putin had told him. We believe that America's strength is enough to push Russia and Putin to peace together with us, together with all our partners.
Oh, now this guy wants to talk like this, but when he was in the Oval Office in front of the world, he thought he had cards, just like Trump said. But here is the director of national intelligence exposing this guy for who he really is and why we shouldn't trust him and why we shouldn't forgive him and why we shouldn't even allow this guy back into the country until he is ready to accept our terms. Remember, this guy just finished running around. After he left the Oval Office, he wanted to go meet again with Trump, but Trump said no. So he went to Canada and he went to the European Union, aka the UK, and doesn't seem that that's going to probably do it. So again, do we have a choice? Does he have a choice?
Here is something that the political establishment and propaganda media don't want you to know. Ukraine's President Zelensky has just banned yet another political opposition party, one that questioned his legitimacy as president, and used Ukraine's Department of Justice to mandate the seizure of this party's members' assets. Now, this is just the latest of Zelensky's actions to do this sort of thing. He began banning major political opposition parties in 2022, when he also started banning TV channels that were associated with his political opponents. And he took over total control of Ukraine's largest television networks, now controlled by their government. Now, Zelensky's presidential term ended on May 20th. He canceled elections in the name of martial law, suspending Ukraine's constitution so that he could stay in power.
But now it's trench warfare, and they're dug in like World War I. And the Ukrainians don't have the bodies to throw into the front lines like the Russians do. That's why Zelensky wants to end it. The Europeans want to end it. We want to end it. And Russia does too. That's why they're at the table. A proxy war that goes nowhere. Is that in America's best interests? Zelensky didn't read the room. He didn't even say thank you.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this.
Don't tell the vice president he's speaking too loudly. He can speak however he wants to in the White House. Have you ever seen a foreign leader come into America and talk this way? And everyone knows if Zelensky had come in, signed the deal, showed some gratitude, it would have gone a long way. And it would have reminded the American people that Zelensky is a victim We could have sympathized with him, and we do. His country's been under attack. But we saved Zelensky's life. We saved his country. And it was an honor to save his country. And if you want to have an attitude because war is hell and you're fighting for your survival, I get that. But do it in private. What do you think was going to happen if you're going to do this in front of the press? You think Trump's going to let it fly? So if you weren't ready to sign the deal, why'd you fly here? And if you didn't like the language?
Because he thought he had the cards. He thought this was the previous administration. Again, he and many other Republicans, the rhinos and Democrats, literally have been pushing this guy to think that he is some type of, I don't know, he's some type of hero in this movie, and that they need to fight to the last soldier. And no, we are the taxpayers. He thought he had a choice.
Language of the mineral deal, have your team hash it out with us. Push the trip back a week and then fly over. Don't fly here saying you're going to sign on the dotted line and then argue about what's not in the deal on TV.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid president, 350.
Did he just say they have been alone? Here's Trump was cooking this whole time.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid
thank-
president, $350 billion.
You voted
We gave
for
you
your
military equipment.
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
Zelensky was already on thin ice. And now he's going toe-to-toe with Trump like this is some kind of debate. We're not here to debate. You can debate behind the scenes. You can debate at lunch. But if you debate in the open like this, you're going to lose because Ukraine has no leverage. The minerals were their only leverage. And without those, you're not getting a peace deal. At a certain point, it didn't even look like Zelensky wanted peace.
You tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire
guarantees.
because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what-
That
what
wasn't
is-
with me.
It
That was
wasn't
with
you.
a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your-
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful.
Zelensky wants guarantees. I would too. But Russia invaded under Bush, under Obama, under Biden. Putin never invaded under Trump. And Trump saying, I'm the guarantee. And if we have Americans in Ukraine excavating minerals, that's a double guarantee.
What's so crazy about this, guys, is the fact that many Americans don't see it that way. Many Americans showed up in Times Square. They showed up in Vermont to protest the vice president, J.D. Vance, with Ukrainian flags, basically saying that we are traitors. But it's so crazy to me how people don't understand this warfare, this kind of mental warfare that Trump is playing with Putin. You see, Trump has Putin under control. People think that Putin is controlling him. But Putin is a very strong man. In order to run Russia, you have to be strong and smart. And when you don't give credit to the opposition, then how do you expect to understand opposition if you don't even bring them to the table to have a conversation? Why do you think people have press conferences when they fight or when they're about to fight? They're about to go to the ring. They're about to go to war, but they have a press conference and an understanding of what this war really means. I don't know. To me, it seems like this guy is just full of it. And now he's apologizing. Now he's apologizing. We need America. But you just went around and literally paraded yourself. He went over, guys. He literally went over to every other country. He went to every other country, and now he's realizing that he needs America more than ever. He needs Trump more than ever. Boy, here is a big bad breaking news for Zelensky, where now the U.S. support for Ukraine It's just not. It's not cutting it. Don't let the mainstream media fool you. Here's CNN keeping it real finally about the actual support. It's going down for Ukraine. Take a look.
Holy Toledo. Look at this trend line here. U.S. support for Ukraine is too much. Back when the war began, back in February of 2022, it was just 7%. Up like a rocket ship. My goodness. Up now in February of 2025 to 41%. And the clear majority of Republicans, and of course, Republicans are in charge of the U.S. government now, 62% of Republicans say that the U.S. support for Ukraine is too much. What a difference from just 3 years ago. I can remember, John, all those backyards in the United States with those Ukrainian flags, far fewer of them today, as Americans' opinions on Ukraine have changed dramatically.
What about opinions of the Ukrainian president?
Right. You know, obviously, if you would expect changes amongst the public on feelings towards Ukraine, feelings towards Zelensky have changed also dramatically. Look at this. Confident Zelensky will do the right thing when it comes to world affairs. Back in 2022, it was the clear majority, 72% through the floor. Through the floor by 2024, just 48% of Americans say that they're confident that Zelensky will do the right thing when it comes to world affairs. And GOP confidence has also plummeted dramatically. Now the clear majority of Republicans are not confident that Zelensky will do the right thing when it comes to world affairs.
Oh my. Americans are not confident in Zelensky. Could you believe that? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. They don't believe in this guy anymore. And that again, you have big protests. You have a lot of Americans, a lot of loud Americans right now. The liberals, the progressives, they're rooting for World War III at this point. And to me, people hit me up and they tell me that I'm a traitor. You're a traitor. How can you support Trump? How can you support war? How can you keep supporting war? How can you keep supporting sending taxpayer money abroad? How? How can you sound like traitor to me? How can you keep supporting these agencies that have treated Americans very wrong? How can you keep supporting the IRS? How can you keep supporting all of these different things that really do more harm to Americans than help us? This is absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, guys. Approvals went from 72 because we saw him as a hero. I was like, man, shout out to Zelensky. And then you start to realize this war has taken longer and longer to be resolved. There's more money going, more money going. This guy is begging for more. These people we've lost human bodies. Why wouldn't I agree with Trump on what he did, on what he said? He wants peace. I want peace. Don't you want peace? I don't know, man. Seems like a lot of liberals have lost their classic ways of being anti-war. Now they're just anti whatever the right really feels in their sentiment. And their sentiment right now is to be against war. And now they're for war because Trump is against it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, you sound like a traitor to me if you think that way. Just my opinion. Make sure to smash the like button once again. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Should Zelensky be forgiven? Says he needs America more than ever. Trump said we're only going to let him back until he's ready to make peace on our terms. See you guys in the next one.